back to Tell the Truth channel. Please like, share my content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. Look, I heard some stuff today, you know, and when I heard this man talking, he made some sense. Now look, I'm not here to discriminate on nobody. I'm not here to do that. I'm here because I'm speaking for the Lord, and He have me to speak on this. Now, for what this man has said is the truth. Now, my daddy, he didn't make Adam and Adam, and he didn't make Eve and Eve. He made Adam and Eve. Now, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live their lives. Nobody. I'm not trying to tell nobody that. I'm just speaking on what my daddy wanted me to speak on and how he wanted this world to go. Now, back in Jesus' days, it was Adam and Adam and Eve back in his days. But see, Jesus was trying to get everybody to wake up back in his days. And some of the people woke up and some of the people did not wake up. You know, they was trying to cash him out because he was speaking the truth. And then, back then, they was going towards Moses, you know, because back then my daddy was not born back in them days when Moses was out. Jesus was not out then. And these people wanted to keep on throwing up Moses when my daddy was study telling them that Moses was back in his days. This is another day in his days. So he's trying to get everybody to come towards his way, you know, because Moses did what he did, but Moses had to follow my daddy's rules and do what my daddy told him to do, and that's what he did. The same way as my brother, speaking for my daddy, you know, doing what my daddy told him to do, and he did. Okay, even though people didn't want to accept it, because they were sitting up there saying to my brother that, how you know all of this? You don't go to school. You didn't learn all of this in school. You don't even go to school. That's okay. It wasn't the point that he didn't. It wasn't the point that he didn't go to school. It was the point that he had common sense. That he knew what my daddy wanted him to speak on, because he wasn't speaking for himself. He was speaking for the Father. The Father was talking through him to have him to talk to the people. That's what he was doing. So he kept telling the people that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, because the Father was speaking through him to get to the people. That's what he was doing. And the people couldn't accept that. They couldn't accept it. So when he went into his father's home and he seen how they corrupted his father's home, and he told them to do not corrupt his father's home. But these people did not accept it like that. They thought he was talking about, was it because he said his house, his father's house, but he wasn't speaking of the temple, the building. He was speaking of his temple. That's what he was speaking on. His body. If they don't like it, he was telling them, if they cannot, if they do it again, he want them to see, could they tear down his body, tear down him, not the building, him. And they thought he was talking about the building, but he was talking about him. And that they couldn't understand. And that's why when he looked at them, he just walked away, because they didn't know what he was talking about. But he was talking about him. See, could you tear my temple down, not the temple, not the building. He was talking about his temple. That's what he was talking about. And these people couldn't get it. They couldn't get it because you know why? They was blinded and they could not see. And they didn't want to see. They just wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to hear the truth. Like now, people don't want to hear the truth, you know. So, like my daddy says, he did not make man and man. He didn't make Adam and Adam. And he didn't make Eve and Eve. He made Adam and Eve. That's what he did. So, all of this that people are doing is abomination. Now, I'm not calling out nobody. Nobody I'm not calling out. I'm just saying this is what he's speaking on. It's abomination. And he don't appreciate it. Because if he wanted man and man, he would have made man and man. If he wanted woman and woman, he would have made woman and woman. But see, he didn't do that. He made man and woman. That's what he did. So, it's not no fault on what people live their lives and how they want to live it. But at the end of the day, they got to answer to my daddy. You know, you gotta get to my daddy. You got to go to Jesus, and then you got to go to my daddy. That's how you got to do that. You got to get through Jesus to get to my daddy. That's how it goes. See? And it's the consequences that you got to look at. It's the consequences that you got to look at. You know, so all of this stuff that's going on, my daddy didn't have no parts of this. It was man doing. Man was sitting here agreeing on man to man and woman to woman. That's what not my daddy called, because that's not how my daddy do it. No, he don't do it like that. He made woman and man, not man and woman and woman. And that's what y'all got to understand. So all of this y'all doing don't have no parts of my daddy. No parts of him at all. This is not how he made the world. This is not how he want the world to go. He want people to bear children in the world. Man and man can't bear children in the world. Woman and woman can't bear children in the world. Woman and man can bear children in the world. And that's what he want. Because he want the germination. He want the germination to go on. He wanted to go on. Because he want the children that's coming up to change the world for the better. That's what he wants. He wants the world to change and make it a better for the next generation and the next generation. So that's why he want man and woman together, so they can bear these babies, and then he can use these babies to change the world. That's what he's looking for. That's what he wants. So he give people freedom. You have your freedom to live your life. He's not complaining on that. You have your freedom to live your life. But at the end of the day, you got to worry about your consequences. That's the day you got to worry about your consequences. That's what he's saying. He give everybody freedom to live their lives, but you got a consequence that you got to look up to at the end of the day. That's what he's saying. So, he's not judging nobody, but that's not according to what he wants in his plans. That's not what he wants in his plans. That's what I'm saying. Because he know man gonna do what man want to do. So they're not gonna follow my daddy laws. And he knows that. But at the end of the day, they don't have no other choice when it comes to that day. When it comes to the day of the judgment, that's when he do his calling. And that's what everybody got to look at. So, like I say, I'm not discriminating on nobody. I'm speaking the way my daddy want me to speak. That's all I'm doing. The way people want to live their lives is the way y'all want to live y'all lives. I ain't got nothing to say on it. That's not me. I'm speaking for my daddy. So, this is what he want me to tell y'all. It's up to y'all. Because at the end of the day is going to be his calling. He's going to do the calling. He's going to do the judgment. When that day come, he's going to make the last call. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm just speaking what my daddy tell me to speak. And that's all I'm doing. So, if y'all got any problems about the way I'm speaking, go to the Go to I am who I am. Emmanuel, the Most High, and Jehovah Jireh. Go to him, and he can tell you everything. If you got any problems, he's waiting. If anybody wants to say anything, go to him and talk to him, because I'm speaking for him. And that's all I got to say. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day. Jesus love you, Father love you, the Holy Ghost love you, and the angels love you, and I love y'all. So, talk to y'all soon. Why do I do this? Why it just cannot go the way it's supposed to go?